Good morning, Washington Eagles. It is Thursday, May 7th. It is math time, and we're still working on equivalent fractions. So yesterday we talked about how whenever you are finding equivalent fractions, you can do so by multiplying. So whatever you do, you have to multiply that one number to the numerator and the denominator. And so now we have the missing denominator, or maybe there might be a missing numerator. I don't know. So let's look at this. So we have 3/6. So let's shade in 3/6. Okay, so really that's half, isn't it? So if we have a missing number, what can we do? So we already know that we have to multiply. Whenever we're finding equivalent fractions, we multiply. Okay, so you can think, oh, what times 3 is 6? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. And if you know what you do in the numerator, you have to do in the denominator, and vice versa. So now we're going to say 6 times 2. Because again, you got to do the same thing. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 2 is what? 12. All right, so let's divide this into 12s. So here we have, let's see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I did not do a great job making those even, but that's okay. So we're going to, how many parts are we going to shade in? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh, I made too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I sure did. Holy smokes. All right, but as you can see that these are equal to each other. So 3/6 is equivalent to 6/12. So let's try another one. What if we did, let's do 2/5 is equivalent to, we don't know the numerator, something over 10. All right, so I'm going to, again, try to make this as even as possible. Okay, so here's our fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, that's our, when we have fractions, our denominator is our whole, and our numerator, that's our parts of the whole. So our whole is a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so let's shade in 2 parts of that. So now we have 2/5. All right, again, if you know your multiplication facts, what times 5 is 10? What times 5 is 10? All right, so we're going to say 2 times 5 is 10. So now we're going to multiply 2 to our numerator. 2 times 2 is 4. So 4/10 is equivalent to 2/5. So let's draw our picture. I hate to make that look opposite each other, but okay, so and I know it's hard to make these even, but we'll do our best. So how many parts are we going to shade in? Here's our tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many parts are we going to shade in? You're right, we're going to shade in 4. So here's 1, 2. Well, they're not even, sorry, but you see what I'm saying. So in theory, these two would look the same. So 2/4 is equivalent to 2/5. So I'm going to do one where we can actually use, let's try one. And remember, can we do a number line? Yeah, we can draw out a number line. We can show how those are equal with each other using a number line. So let's do, let's see, how about 2/3 is equivalent to something over 9. All right, so let's draw our boxes. So we're just going to draw this into thirds. And then, so what they did is they made, and then, so here's our 9, 3, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3. So here's our 3. Here's our 9. Let's shade in our 2. So here's our 2 thirds. Here's our 2 thirds. Well, how many are we going to shade in to make this look like that? Well, let's start shading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we're saying that 2 thirds is equal to 6 ninths. Okay, well, let's think. What times 2 is 6? All right, 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Is 3 times 3 9? Yes, 3 times 3 is 9. So that is correct. So here is our 2 thirds is equivalent to 6 ninths. Now again, can we draw a number line? We can. We absolutely can draw a number line. So here is, we're going to divide this into thirds. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to divide this, so I don't know if that's going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those have to be smaller. Sorry, friends. I'm just better at just drawing it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's terrible. Okay. All right. Well, we gotta make it work, right? So here we go. So 1, 2. Here is our 2 thirds, and let's draw out 6. Hopefully they'll line up close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite there, but we'll pretend. We'll make that a bigger hop. There we go. And we'll just add one more. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is our 6 ninths. I'm sorry, this is messy. And so now that way we can represent it. You can show that they are equivalent to each other. And we're going to do one more thing, and then we're moving on. I've got kind of a word problem for you. I've got a word problem for you. Okay, so we have a housing addition is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here are little houses. Okay, here's our houses. All right, we have 6 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, it says the apartment house is divided into 6 equal parts, okay? 1/2 of the parts were painted last week. So if half of those were painted last week, I'm going to make this kind of a dark color. If half of them were painted last week, how many would be half? Well, 3. So 3/6 would be half, okay? So, how many parts still need to be painted? Well, another 1, 2, 3. Another 3/6 need to be painted, okay? Now, if we were to add these up, if we were to paint all of these, what would we have? We'd have 1 whole. And we know that's true because 3 plus 3 is 6. Our denominator is going to stay the same, yes. And 6/6 equals 1 whole, okay? So, 3/6. Okay, so, let's see. Let's try. I was going to do, all right, so a challenge question would be, now, this is a challenge. Here's my challenge question to you, okay? My challenge to you. Let me erase this real fast, my friends. Here's our windows. Okay, because my next question has windows. Okay, so 2/3 of the windows were washed on Monday. Okay? So we're going to break this into the thought of thirds, okay? Right? 2/3 were washed on Monday. 1/3 was washed on Tuesday. How many windows were washed on both days? Okay, so if we look at this, I broke this up into thirds, right? So 2/3. So 2 of this part, the windows were washed. We're going to make them look shiny. So here's our 2/3 represented. 2 of those were washed on Monday. 2/3 were washed, okay? 1/3 were washed on Tuesday. All right, well, if only one of those thirds is washed on Tuesday, well, here we go. And so now we have 1/3 on Tuesday. How many windows were washed on both days? Well, how many windows are washed on both days? So we can say 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3. Okay, so so there you go. I was going to have that a challenge question for you, but we just did it together, and that's okay. All right, until next time, it'll be Friday next time I see you. Have a good evening. Love you guys. Be safe. Until next time, bye.